Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Y'all ready? Good afternoon. Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Robert Kelly, and I am the Historic Resources Supervisor here in Gloucester County. I'm also proud to serve as Vice President of the American Friends of Lafayette. So as soon as this commemoration is over, I think half of us are going to race to Yorktown and celebrate the arrival of Lafayette. But there's a few people that I want to recognize today. I know that we have the chair of our Board of Supervisors, Chris Hudson, is here, and he will speak to you all later. And I really appreciate, Chris, you being here with us today. If there's any members of the Gloucester County School Board here, maybe? They're here with us in spirit. I know that we have several members of the Gloucester County Historical Committee, which I'm very proud to serve as staff liaison with, and this is a wonderful group of people. So I want to recognize the Historical Committee, and then also the Gloucester County 250th, the 250 Committee that really helped with this program as well. Last but not least, Gloucester Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, who beautified this park, who laid the mulch, who made sure that everything was just spotless for us. And also Sherry Kosakowski with Gloucester Clean Community and the Gloucester Matthews Exchange Club, who did some amazing work, again, to make sure that the park is clean. And most importantly, I really want to thank our fourth graders from Abingdon Elementary. Let's give our fourth graders a round of applause before they've even sung today. Distinguished guests, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to spend it here on the site of the 1781 Battle of the Hook. When we look out across the scene today, we see homes, a school, a soccer field, peace, serenity. We hear birds chirping, we hear children playing. 243 years ago, on October 3rd, 1781, the scene was very different. This was the site of a battle, a crucial French and American victory that paved the way for surrender at Yorktown on October 19th, 1781. Today we gather to remember and honor the French soldiers who gave their life here in Gloucester County for our American Revolution. This ceremony will honor their memory and celebrate their contributions to our country. It is with extreme pride that I welcome the following representatives of the French military who have traveled a long way to be with us today. First, Brigadier General Vincent de Kitspotter, PhD, Head of Military and Defense Mission, French Permanent Mission to the United Nations, New York, New York. We will hear from Brigadier General Kitspotter later in today's program. Rear Admiral Frederick de Ruppel, French Navy, Deputy Chief of Staff, NATO, Joint Forces Command, Norfolk, Virginia. Colonel Nicholas Duran, National Liaison Representative, France, NATO, Allied Command Transformation, Norfolk, Virginia. And I also want to recognize other members of their staff who are with us today as well. It's an extreme pleasure that you are with us today. And I also want to welcome or honor my dear friend, retired Lieutenant Colonel Alain Abad, who's traveled from France, who's with us today as well. It means so much to our community that you all have taken time to be with us today. I ask that you now please rise as we honor France with the singing of their national anthem. I am honored to welcome Soprano Laura Heydt, a nationally recognized concert artist currently residing in Baltimore, Maryland. Laura teaches music at the Seed School of Maryland. Please, everybody, please rise.
Allons enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. Contre nous de la tyrannie, l'étendard sanglant élevé, l'étendard sanglant élevé. Entendez-vous dans les campagnes mugir ces féroces soldats? Ils viennent jusqu'au vos bras, égorgez vos fils, vos compagnes. Vos citoyens, formez vos bataillons, marchons,
Thank you, Ms. Heydt. Please remain standing as the fourth grade class of Abingdon Elementary School honors America with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. You all were amazing. Thank you for being here today. You may be seated. It is now my honor and pleasure to introduce Mr. Chris Hudson, Chair of the Gloucester County Board of Supervisors. Please welcome Chris to the podium.
First thing I'd like to do is thank you again, because y'all are the future. Thank you. And the past. Thank you. How often does he get up and actually do work? Good afternoon, and welcome to beautiful and historic Gloucester County. It is my honor and pleasure to be with you today. Exactly 1 year ago today, we gathered to dedicate two historical markers to commemorate the 1781 Battle of the Hook. These markers tell the story of Gloucester's important and often overlooked role in the Battle of the Siege of Yorktown, the last major battle of the American Revolution. October 3rd, today reminds me of 1781, reminds me a little bit of that if you listen to read the history, because they said the group came from Connecticut, where it was cold, but they get here and it's cold at night and it's hot during the day. Sort of like what we've experienced the last few days. So we can almost live it, although none of us are on horses. But the Battle of the Hook was the largest cavalry engagement of the American Revolution, or of the Revolution, for y'all. It happened right here, where we're standing. As Mr. Kelly said, a lot's changed since it happened then. But what we're here to honor are the 5 French soldiers who left behind mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and other loved ones 4,000 miles away. So these soldiers represented the beginning of a critical alliance between France and the United States. Without that alliance, it never would have been successful at Yorktown, and we wouldn't have been successful in the recent future, or recent past. So the dedication of this memorial, we pledge that Gloucester will never forget the names of the 5 individuals, the French soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice in 1781 at the Battle of the Hook. Thank you for attending today. Please enjoy Gloucester. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please welcome to the podium a dear friend and colleague of mine, Mr. Thierry Chanou, President of the American Society Le Souvenir Français. Thierry has traveled from his home in New York to be with us today. Please welcome Thierry to the podium.
Good afternoon. My name is Thierry Chanou. I'm the president of the American Society of Le Souvenir Français. And as the name implies, souvenir is not a souvenir, it's a memory. But before I start, I just wanted to congratulate all of you for being here, being with us, and for this splendid rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. It's a great, great pleasure to have you here, and I'll tell you why. Our mission is to honor the memory of all the French soldiers, sailors, and aviators who are buried in the United States. More than 2,400 are buried, soldiers are buried here in the United States from the Revolutionary War. And let's not forget 3,000 of sailors who are resting at the bottom of the ocean. I was very moved, and I'm very moved that you're here because you are the future of this country. And maybe among you, there is, who knows, maybe the next president of the United States. And I hope that one day your children, your grandchildren, and maybe your great-grandchildren, because I'm told that with the advances of medicine, you can live up to 120, 30 years. Well, I hope you will remember this day and you will bring your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren here, and you will say to them, well, I was there, because the past is very important. Without memory, you do not know what the future is going to be. And you will be the master of your own future if you know your history. So again, thank you for being with us. And it's really a pure delight to have you here with us. Thank you. As I said, our prime mission is to honor the memories of those who gave their lives for democracy and freedom. And I wish I could tell you all the things we do, but this is a short ceremony because we're going to witness another chapter of history with the arrival of Lafayette, the landing in less than a few minutes. So it's my great honor and pleasure to welcome General Vincent de Kitzpater, who will give us some remarks about General Rochambeau, your illustrious French general, who led the French troops and the American troops with George Washington and Lafayette to victory on those very grounds. Mon Général.
Thank you, Thierry. Thank you, Robert. Excellencies, you never know. There's always an excellency somewhere. So, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, my dear brothers and sisters in arms in here, and my dear, brave fourth graders for being here. Thank you. Thank you. I won't say again what Thierry said about you, but also the soprano. Where is she? Because she's just earned the citizenship of honor. Oh, that's why. So we won't give us the citizenship that time. But anyways, thank you so very much for being here. It's truly a great honor and a distinct privilege to be here today in front of you, because today's celebration is the perfect embodiment of this outstanding and epic Franco-American military alliance that began some 244 years ago, right? So as a former French hussar, I'm so very proud that one of the most gallant actions of the American Revolution was a cavalry engagement, one of the few and largest, as it has been said, of the American Revolution. So this very October the 3rd, 1781, this Battle of the Hook provides us one of the earliest examples of a perfect joint French-American operation. It also provides the perfect example of the esprit de corps, and the military camaraderie that have united the French and American military ever since. The successful outcome of this fight, or rather this armed skirmish, undoubtedly boosted the self-confidence of the Allies. First, let us give honor where honor is due. The engagement of the Duke of Lotzin's Legion, 650 hussars and lancers, those brave horsemen, along with Lieutenant Colonel John Mercer's Virginians infantry, hurrah, have greatly succeeded to defeat the infamous outrageous Lieutenant Colonel Banastar Tarleton. Ooh, the butcher of Virginia, we know that, and all his dragoons. And also the Royal Welsh Fusiliers Party and Lieutenant Colonel Simcoe's Queen Rangers detachment. So this epic combat is not only a tactical victory, for it stops the enemy foraging party, the looting of this beautiful Virginian, countryside, but it is also strategically significant because it seals off any possible way of exfiltration out of Gloucester from, Yorktown to the north. So the British and the German mercenaries are therefore tightly corked in Gloucester here. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, dear fourth graders, in this very place, we need to remember that peace has a price. And this price is the life of hundreds, thousands of young soldiers fighting together, shoulder to shoulder, and they die for a noble cause. When 19 years old Lafayette crosses the ocean to fight for the insurgent cause, thousands of 19-year-old Americans, doughboys, Sammies, GIs, during the Cold War as well, you name it, they crossed over and they saved us as well. So here in Gloucester, in Yorktown, there in Bois-Belleau, on the beaches of Normandy, in the valleys of Afghanistan, in Iraq as well, in Syria now, the young fellow soldiers, aviators, sailors and marines were ready to sacrifice their lives. And here in Virginia, French soldiers came to America to defend the right of the American people to enjoy freedom and to gain liberty. Ever since the Battle of Yorktown and this very Battle of the Hook, often sadly overlooked, and which could be coined as the battle within the battle, both our countries have been fighting shoulder to shoulder to defend democracy and freedom in the world. And that bond still unites the US military and the French military today. So it is important to maintain this heritage indeed, and to remember that the United States of America and France form one of the oldest military alliances. The brotherhood in arms that unites American and French soldiers was first sealed in the blood shed together in this beautiful countryside. It lasted throughout the following centuries, and it still continues today under the motto, one team, one fight. Vive Washington, vive Rochambeau, mais vive aussi le duc de Lauzun. Vive les États-Unis d'Amérique et vive la France!
Thank you, sir. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Hey, Robert.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, General. The title of this reading is Remember by Victor Kleinschmidt. Someone's child left long ago, a strange land, someone's foe. An unmarked grave, fields of green, resting quiet, just 18. Winds of freedom wash us now. Remember him, this I vow. To Them We Owe by Don Nielsen. Happened today and in the past. Sacrifice made for ours to last. Wives to widows, families torn, gave their lives, for them we mourn. Gone forever, souls are lost. Freedom comes with this cost. Enjoy the life they did preserve. Fate they suffered did not deserve. On this day, lest we forget, to them we owe our life in debt. I would like to invite my dear friend Richard Azaro with the Society of the Honor Guard Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
I am here today representing the Society of the Honor Guard Tomb of the Unknown Soldier because it was in our hands that America placed its sacred duty to never, ever forget all those who have served and sacrificed on behalf of America in times of war or armed conflict, their families and our allies. I wanted to tell you about this particular floral tribute. It was inspired by an incident that took place during the selection of America's World War I unknown soldier in a small town called, at the time, Chalon-sur-Marne. A French couple who had lost 2 sons in the war came forward at the last minute with a bouquet of white roses. The sergeant that was charged with the responsibility of selecting the unknown was given that bouquet and instructed to indicate his selection by placing those white roses on the casket. We looked into this very deeply during the centennial. That rose is called nephetos. It's a Greek term, but it was very popular in France and all throughout Europe. Its meaning is falling snow. We followed the body of the unknown from that moment of selection until the time of burial. Those flowers remained with the body and is buried with him in Arlington National Cemetery. We chose to make our floral tribute, trusting upon the language of flowers to express what is very difficult to express in words. So, the white roses take us back and is an homage to all those who participated in the selection of the unknown. It is an homage to the people of France by which they demonstrated their love, affection, respect, and gratitude as they carried their body all the way to the port of Le Havre. We chose the number 11, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, resting in a body of baby's breath to suggest the falling snow, the meaning of nephetos. And all I would add to it is that the bond that we recognize and we know very well at the tomb, all of the honor guard at tomb are very schooled in this. We understand the bond of America and France. As we say among ourselves frequently, it's like Roman concrete. It gets stronger with age. So with that, with your permission, I would like to place the flowers.
I would like to invite Rear Admiral Frederick de Ripley and Thierry Chanou to lay the ceremonial wreath. Now I would ask that we remain standing and in memory of the sacrifice of those that fell, please observe a moment of silence. Thank you. I want to thank you all today for attending this ceremony, for joining us today, to taking time to honor the memory of those that fought and died here on these grounds in Gloucester County during the American Revolution. It's important that we never forget the names of these soldiers. It's important that we never forget what happened here in Gloucester. It's important that we learn our history. This is a day of remembrance, but it's also a day of celebration as we look forward and we reflect on where we've come as a nation and where we're going. So I hope that today you've been moved to remember the past, but also to look forward. That we live in an amazing country. We have a lot of work to do. We have amazing friends. We have amazing allies. And I really want to, again, thank our French friends for being here with us today. That means so much to us. I want to thank the fourth grade. You guys are awesome. Let's give them another round of applause, please. And I just want to thank everyone for being here today. If you have the opportunity to travel over to Yorktown this weekend, tomorrow, the 19th, is Surrender Day. If you've never been to Yorktown Day, it's an amazing day of patriotism, of remembrance, of celebration, of small town America. So if you've never had the opportunity to do that, I encourage you to visit. I also encourage you to please take a look here at the signs that we dedicated last year, but also at the gorgeous memorial that we just dedicated. I would like to, Terry, in closing, would you like to recognize the committee that helped make this possible? And then we will conclude our ceremony.
I would like to thank, indeed, this teamwork. Everyone has really pitched in. And the committee was composed of Lieutenant Colonel Mathieu Brûlet, Warren Deal, Capitaine de Vaisseau Jean-René de Gans, Colonel Nicolas Durand, Lieutenant Colonel Nicolas Koudinov, Robert Kelly Jr., Amiral de Rupilly, Jeff Lambert, and unfortunately they're not with us today, they couldn't make it, but a very special thanks as well to Dr. Robert Selig, who wrote actually the text of those two markers, a very renowned historian, he knows everything about this crucial period of history, and Nicole Yancey, who could not be with us today, former Honorary Consul of France in Virginia, who has been celebrating 50 years of being involved in all the Yorktown ceremonies. And she cannot be with us today because she had to go and meet the descendant of Général de Rochambeau, Raphaël de Gouberville, who is coming late this afternoon and who will be with us tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you all so much for being here today. Please enjoy the memorials, enjoy this wonderful day. This concludes our ceremony. Thank you for being with us today in Gloucester County.